So, welcome on Startup Greece Talks. Today, I'm welcoming George Mendrinos from Caius. Good to have you here, George.
Hi, Fedra. How are you?
I'm great. I'm in Corfu. It's a bit cloudy. I'm very glad to have you here, and I'm very glad that you're working on something that's super interesting for me. So I'm ultra devoted to this talk. And please let me know about what you're doing, why you're doing it. So tell me something about you.
Okay, thank you very much for the introduction. I'm George Mendrinos. I'm a researcher here in Athens in Demokritos. And
Mm-hmm.
along with other friends, we have created Caius, an AI startup, for the last 2 years now, in which we are digitizing rural areas and especially forest, with our biggest product being Caius Paths, which is a product that digitizes trails through rural areas,
Mm-hmm.
especially in difficult terrains, in deep forest sessions, etc.
Mm-hmm. So you're technically making mapping of rural areas a lot more easy for not only companies which might need this kind of service, but also the government, right?
Yes, exactly. It's a B2G slash B2B product.
Great.
By using satellite data, we manage to have regular updates and the best resolution for these rural maps, basically.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now it's a lot more clear, and thank you for that. So I would love to know a bit more about how you started and why actually did you start? Which was the stimulation, the initiation, the stimuli behind all of this?
Okay, that's a great question to begin with. We were all a group of friends that we have different research products, but all of them had to do with AI. And
Mm-hmm.
we tried to find something that it can help rural areas because all of us have connections with them, especially with Metsovo, which is a
Mm.
rural Greek village here in Epirus. And
And
we
a beautiful one with amazing hiking trails.
exactly, and a huge network of them. And
Exactly.
we try to make some products that they are going to revolutionize these areas and make them more advanced and try to bring people back, especially people of our age, to
Mm.
come back to these villages, but to work with modern jobs like not leaving Athens for something to downstream their work, but
Mm-hmm.
to take the example for villages, for example, in Switzerland and things like that. So we try to do something similar. And the way
Mm-hmm.
we find it, it was through some competitions with satellite data and AI. We
Mm-hmm.
managed to have some big successes through them and make our idea viable and um, in order to begin our journey to using our expertise as researchers with AI in to help rural areas with modern means. That's
Yeah,
the big
that's
idea.
great. So I understand that you all have the technical background. I'm planning on asking more about the technical background, but I understand that the thing that got you together was your love for hiking and nature, and also your need to see people coming back to their roots and
Exactly.
being able to have a sustainable way of living there, but also promote the unbelievable treasure that. Greece is, especially for hiking lovers, mountaineers, etc.
Exactly. That was the point of the first competition, the European one, that we managed to be the first one in Europe to succeed. to bring locals and tourists together with modern means, but by caring for forest areas and modernize them, but respect them also. So that was the whole point of it. And with AI, we can deal with it more rapidly and also cheap, so we can attract more people to it.
That was supposed to be my next question, because I understand that you're putting together AI in order to make this service even more attractive to companies and the government. And since it's the AI era, I want to understand, how do you think AI is progressing? And I understand that you have more data with regards to the field of satellites uh, data gathering. So what do you know about this? What do you see in the future with this?
So basically, the thing is that, and the thing that I believe that made this huge bump of AI is that we have a huge amount of data, and we don't know what to make out of it. And we see that in our research projects previous to this one also. And AI tries to take all this data and find connections that we can't. For example, a lot of times I am trying to explain this with imagine you have a two-dimension diagram. This is okay, you can understand it and make your own decisions. But what if you had a 10th dimension diagram? This is something that we have a lot in satellite data, but we can't picturize it and try to figure it out. So with AI, we are solving these problems. We're like telling it what exactly we need to for it to search and find, and we are gaining a lot of time through using AI. So in the next years, I'm seeing that most professions are going to use AI in a regular basis for their products, and this is something that was missing from rural areas and trails in general. So we hope to make some changes in this direction, but caring for the local ones that do this with a traditional way. So it's like a tool that enhance their work, not taking their work and leave them without the work.
Yes, 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 yes. Of course, it's collaborative.
Exactly. And the Caius Paths was built with these people in mind. They told us what they are missing, what they would like to have, and this is what we build.
Exactly. So who are you selling your product to currently, and how do you make money out of it? Because I know that you're generating money out of it, as you told me, and I find it fascinating because you're only 2 years in the market. So who are you selling it to, and how are you making money? What's your model?
Okay, so currently the model is we started with some case studies in Epirus, and now we have some bigger studies in Epirus, in Chalkidiki, in Serifos, Ios, Githio, and Peloponnese in general. So we have a lot of areas that need to find all the trails in order to give them to the public after they renovate them and put signs in them, etc. So we are the first stage of these studies. So then after this, they take over the different research groups in the ground, in situ researchers, and also mayors, regional governments, things like that. It's like a collaborative way that maybe, for example, there are specific companies that they renovate trails. So we are selling to them this data in order
Can
to
you give an
renovate them.
example, please?
A company like this, for
Yes.
example, Paths of Greece. It's a
That's so great.
company, yes, that is dedicated only to
I think I know it. I think I know it. Yeah.
okay. So we have customers like this that we provide them this data, this bird's eye view image of the area that they want to
Mm-hmm.
renovate, and then we help them to decide about the trails that we need to fix in order to
Mm-hmm.
connect all the villages and bring tourism like a trail and experience that is worth of walking, for example, a couple of hours. So it has to
Mm-hmm.
be a lot of interesting spots there. For example, ancient ruins or views of the valley,
Mm-hmm.
or, etc. So this is the point. So we are selling either to these companies, to these
Or
local,
to the government.
exactly, to
Ideally,
ministries or
ideally, in
the
an
government.
ideal scenario, which would be your preferred avatar? I understand that this also has to do with the pricing. So the higher the price you sell, the better the customer. But if you had to choose your preferred customer, which would that be?
Okay, so the good thing with satellite data is that is too scalable. I mean, we can scale this to huge terrains, and
Mm-hmm.
this give us the opportunity through the World Trails network that we are a part of to make it happen in huge terrain areas that they are being undiscovered and undeveloped. For example, around Europe and also other developing countries.
Mm-hmm.
So the next target is first the European market of trails, and especially the online apps that they have a lot of trails, but they don't they lack a way to rate them, a way to identify if these crowdsourcing trails if they are real or not, if they are accessible, because these
Mm.
outsourcing data, so they are not sure if this trail is actually there. Maybe
How
someone.
many times? How many times have you found yourself walking on a hiking path, ending in a dead end somewhere that you're not sure if you're gonna make it to go back or not?
It has been a long time that we have
Many, many times.
a lot of times this problem. I remember a time in Ipros that we reached the point that it's like a dead end, but we know that there was a path a couple of years ago that passes through there, and we say, okay, we are going to go down to the stream and then climb up again, but then we couldn't climb up because there
Of
was a
course.
next thing that the trail even further has also too many rocks.
Collapsed.
So yes, so
Collapsed.
we were between the two dead ends, and we,
Yeah.
and it was
So
like
so now I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I just thought of this. How important would it be if you could also update the situation of the paths during a year? So after the rain period, let's say, how
exactly the
amazing
season.
it would be if you could update which paths or which trails are actually walkable uh,
Exactly.
after
If
the
snow
hard
or
winter time. Yeah.
exactly. So this is again something that you can do only with satellite data.
And it's real time. It's real time data.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So this
I
gives
remember.
us
Yeah, yeah.
the
No,
opportunity to
please.
have update all the time and to bring this information to the right people in order to renovate them and make it accessible through all year round.
But also protect the people that walk these places.
Exactly.
I remember myself trying to walk up a gorge in South Crete, and due to the rainfalls from last year's rainfalls, the path has changed completely. So there's this E4
Yes, yes.
hiking trail, E4.
Okay.
It's very known across Europe. And they had to create a new path around it, around the E4 trail, because of the rocks that have been falling there for the whole year. And we had no idea. And we had to walk like around 1 hour to go around the trail, which is something that you could solve with real-time data from the satellites. I find this very, very useful, actually, and
Yes,
you're
yes.
also protecting the people.
This is currently one of the main problems they have in these areas because they take some funding and have the opportunity to renovate the trails. But after this, there's no scheduling in order to preserve them in this situation. So this is a huge problem right now in order to have regular updates and know exactly
Mhm.
what you expect to find across. So
Okay,
we're
so
working towards this.
if it's a huge problem, then it means that you also have a market to sell it to. And the question is, can you share some estimations about the market size, or anything, any numbers or projections for the market for your product?
Okay, yes. So in general, the geoanalytics market is huge. In 2028 is going to be around 150 billion dollars. But a lot of it, especially in the last decade, and even more the last 5 years, is around 20% of it is for tourist activities, which was never the case before. So we have an exponential ratio in money that they are spending on the trails, especially in Europe. We have seen from especially after COVID a huge boost of this economy, like a 23% ratio of. If you just look the ERDF spending of Greece, you'll understand that the amounts are exponentially greater each year.
Mm-hmm.
And we have raised to spend more than 8 million euros just alone in Greece for renovate trails each year.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So this is for Greece, right?
yes, yes, in Greece. In general, for Southern Europe is around 100 million euros per year. So this is the market that we are targeting,
That
especially
was the question. That
yes,
was the question.
South Europe.
Are you planning on expanding your focus in Europe also?
Yes, yes, we
If I
have
understand
made
correctly.
some case studies in Italy, Albania, Cyprus, so we have some other territories with similar terrains. Spain also is in our target group, so we have
Right.
lots of countries around Mediterranean and Northern Africa that they are keen to it. They are starting to understand that trails is a great resource for keeping people in rural areas with great targeted tourists. So it helps a lot. We have a lot of
Of course.
companies that are
Of
interested in it,
course.
and of course the online platforms that they
Mm-hmm.
need the validation that we spoke before to validate this
Mm-hmm.
crowdsourcing data.
Okay, and so you see this growing within the next 3 to 5 years. Where are you planning on being in 3 to 5 years from now?
Okay, that's a great question. Hopefully, we're making a lot of trails all around the world
Mm-hmm.
these 5 years, and especially we're trying to target not only the regular updates that we spoke before, but also real-time updates, which means it's a huge market because of the all the global catastrophes that we see around forest and rural areas. For
Yeah, that was
example,
the point.
our R&D focuses, for example, on if we are spreading of a fire, to have a real-time vision of the
Which are the three paths?
exactly all the accessibility in the forest areas.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
anyone in these areas knows live how can escape these areas or intervene. For example, the fire departments, etc. So there is a huge market around this.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, the last target in this 5-year period would be to be real time with satellite data and drones alike.
Great. So are there other companies doing the same thing as you do, and are they doing it better or worse?
That's a great question. It's not exactly the same. That's the weird thing of this market because it's currently working its way through. So the market splits to this crowdsourcing data, which is the most of the market. I mean, all the online platforms have these crowdsourcing data of trails. So this is the one part of it. The other part is that the in situ mapping that it's like a tradition for several years and has done its part. So this is the other part of the in situ, and our geospatial analytics market, the third one, is hasn't embedded AI. So to embed AI in these trails is something new, something that we bring on the table. For example, we know that other geospatial analytics companies try to map trails, but not with AI.
Hmm.
There has been some research project similar to ours, but it's mostly research. That's the risk that you have a research project that you trying to turn to a real product to work each time, not just
Yes, yes, yes,
some
yes.
success.
And are you planning on making also further changes, further diversifications with your product and its current specs, let's say, in the future, or are you staying with the AI differentiation?
Yeah, with the current product, we have a couple of layers that each layer uses a different data set and finds trails separately, and then of them combine. So in these layers that we have, satellite data, radar data, drone data, we can add a lot of layers apart from these that we have currently. This is the one. And also um, this kind of it's like the how fast you can train these models in different terrains and understand each area
Mm.
separately in order
Mm.
to navigate through areas, and especially we're focusing on finding these catastrophes, these demolitions, etc., very specifically in each trail. Not just detect the trail itself, but its current state. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the new things that we're bringing in the table with our R&D.
That's great, and you've come a long way because I remember that in our meet and greet call, you told me that you started, if I'm not mistaken, you started bootstrapping, and you're currently almost breaking even. And it's only been 2 years, right?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Okay,
So
so okay, that's great, and let's dive a little deeper into the finance aspect of the company. So, are you currently raising? Are you currently asking for funding? Are you talking to investors?
yes, currently we are in a seed state of funding.
Mm-hmm.
We have been in some, for example, in the Southeast Tech Tour investment funding in this summer, and we are speaking with some possible investors for our project to be able to have this scalability of these case studies in Greece to Southern Europe in general, and especially these online applications. That is our
Mm-hmm.
greater goal for now, for the 3 years now.
Okay, so you're currently looking for money technically, and how much would you consider would be enough for let's say an initiation of this round? What's the estimation?
Right now, we are currently seeking for 350,000 euros. especially for R&D, having the capability to buy more satellite data and with different aspects. I mean, it's not like only images, it's like radar, satellite data, there are different kinds of them. And also having the right amount of GPUs and servers, etc., to further research for our product. But apart from this, we are keeping around 20% of this amount of money for marketing and in order to promote our product and even build our personalized apps for all these users in order to have the possibility to access all this data in
Mhm.
like live. So the
Mhm.
app is essential for it. We have our site, but
Okay.
our app is currently in an MVP product, not the final one.
Okay, I see. I see. And so, what's your plan on getting a return on that investment?
Okay, so the creative market that we see is again these private companies that deal
Yeah.
with trails all around the world. So they have huge scalability. In the last
Mhm.
years, their revenues have seen like 30 to 50% increase.
Yeah.
So we, as their like a part of their R&D, we have also a huge amount of engaging and taking progress out of it. So these companies that deal with trails and analyze rural areas in general is the main market. In order to achieve this, um, we have tried very hard to bring down the cost in order to give them the possibility to purchase huge terrain areas. So this is
Yes.
a thing in order to not just uh, purchase one terrain for like one each 2 years. We like to keep them like in a regular basis to
Mhm.
be able to have these updates through each month, for example, to give
So is it going to be subscription model?
yes, they have a subscription model. They have their account on our site, and from there
Great.
they are keeping their data for each season and know exactly the accessibility on their trails. So it's a huge
Great.
market. They can advertise a lot through it because and the companies that we have spoken of, they are going to use it to different to make a difference out of this market
Yeah,
because
to differentiate themselves. Yeah.
exactly. So
Hmm.
this is
So
the main.
you give them the chance to have a competitive advantage using your service. And so let me ask, when it comes to your team, which I believe is one of the most important components in a company, how many people are you currently in the team? How many are, and what are the technical backgrounds?
Okay, so as we said from the beginning, we are a group of friends, and
Yeah.
from we are descended from these rural areas, and but the thing that Jonas was the our research with AI. So we are
Hmm.
mostly technical, all of the members of the team. We are currently 7 people. 4 of them are full time on this project, and another 3 are part time. Uh, they
Great.
they are all specializing either on satellite data or
Hmm.
in AI. So we are combining these through like for example, there are GIS data, which is like GPS data or imagery or AI on images or AI in
Hmm.
GPS data. So we have different technical aspects, and
Hmm.
we also have a senior researcher, which also has some other companies. So he's helping us through
Very valid. Mhm.
yes, not only with research, but also with making a project, a research project, to turn it to a real-time product.
Of course,
So
yes.
this is the specialist.
I understand. Great. I understand that after raising some funding, you're also interested in getting some new people in the team. What kind of people would they be? What do you need exactly when it comes to personnel?
Okay, yes. Right now we are seeking for some marketing also specialist for manager in this area, and then
Junior, senior?
senior, because with juniors it has been a little bit rough because it's a complicated market with not a huge audience, but with a very demanding audience. So
Mm-hmm.
senior marketing manager. But after the seed funding, we are also with some business models experts, and even more after this, when we have the right amount of resources to expand even more our R&D, some geospatial analytics experts to even enhance our already techniques around them.
That's great, and I hope you get there very soon because it seems like a product that is very promising, like a service that is very promising, and it also includes social innovation, except for everything else, which I love. Is there anything that you would like to share with our audience, people that are listening to? They might be investors, they might be people interested in working with you. By the way, I'm saying to our audience right now that you can reach out to me or you can reach out to George or anyone else in their team in case you're interested in working with them or you have worked in a similar project and you have some insights in the industry and the market. Please feel free to give us a call or text us and we will get back to you. So is there anything you would like to share with me before we wrap it up?
Okay, yes. The thing that I believe that maybe it's a little bit classy, but I believe you have to believe in yourself and try to imagine where you want to be in around, for example, the 5 or 10 years from now, and we figure this out from the beginning that we need to do something with rural areas. So and then you should listen to these people that you want to help and want to work with. If you listen to them, and we have a huge amount of walks with them, trails, etc. So we deeply understand their way of thinking, and then you proceed to make your own product, and not
Of
the other
course.
way around. So
That's very, very important. That's very, very wise. And we keep on saying that, but we don't really focus on implementing what we say because most of us have an idea about the product or the service that we want to provide, but we fail to clearly understand what other people are sharing with us are their as
exactly.
their problem. And you're absolutely right that if we try to do that a lot more, then maybe we can gather more data and build the product around their needs instead of our dream.
Exactly. You have to live with them, to live their lives, to be in their shoes. We have a lot of friends around all the world through World Trails
Mhm.
Network, and especially in Metro, that this is their way of living. For example, mountain
Exactly.
marathons, and
Yeah.
we try to do this for them and help them as much as we can.
Perfect. George, I cannot thank you enough for this and for sharing all of this information with me. I believe that it was a great interview, and honestly, I cannot wait to see where this is going. And I would love to also get together and go for a beautiful hike.